I'm going to direct our attention to the condenser. Here's the mounting parts for the condenser from docrebuild.com. Can you see that? I don't know if I'm getting on there. There we go. There's that one. And the one down there that we'll be dealing with. These ones come with plastic inserts, but since we have the factory grommets, cushion and spacer, whatever. Since we have the factory one, they have the steel inserts, so we'll just put the steel inserts inside of these ones and call it good. And we also have to take the mounting bracket from the condenser off of the old one and put it onto the new replacement. The mounts are side specific. Alright, so these end screws here and on here for this condenser is slightly different than the last condenser. It's the same width, but where they got the mounting bracket on this side puts the screw right in line with the bend of this tube. So just be careful when you're putting these in that it's not going to bury itself right into the tube and then cause a leak later on. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is somewhat get it threaded and then cut the bolts to length, or these screws to length, so they don't go into the hoses in the condenser. All right, we got the one trimmed up. Let's see if we can get that started, if it worked. Okay. All right, we just cut the tip of it off and we're able to screw it down and it won't hit inside the condenser. So we'll get the other one done and then put it in the vehicle. All right, let's get this last screw in place. See if that one worked out. Alright, that one worked out right here pretty good. So now we can put it inside the car. Now we're going to remove these condenser mounts. We can reuse a lot of the hardware. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wire wheel this and then hit it up with some like penetrating oil to keep it from rusting. Alright, we'll just slide the little plastic spacer out. Maybe yeah, I think the metal one's too big. It's kind of spherical. Okay, let's see if that kind of fits inside the bracket, or if we spread it out too much, swelled it up some. Oh no, that's good. Alright, we'll put this side back in. Since it's almost like a self-tapping, you kind of want to put it back into the same thread. That way you're not going to open up the hole and strip it out. I'm going to do the same thing to the other mount. Clean it up, hit it on a wire brush, and reinstall it. All right, we'll even it out. Reinstall it on the other side. It's kind of hard to fit a ratchet in there because the vacuum reservoir for the headlights get in the way. We'll leave it just a little bit loose, and that way when we get the condenser in there, we can tighten it up. There we go. Yeah. All right. All right, the upper mounts also go to the upper radiator mount. All right, so kind of have to work around the headlight hose on the passenger side. We'll get some light down inside this area so you can see what's going on. So what we have to do now is we have to take this and bend it out some because it's bent too far back, and in order to get it slid in, it has to come out, but the headlight thing is getting in the way, so we'll just take this and bend it up. All right, let's give you a close-up of what we're looking at. Can you see that right there? I don't know if you can see it on the other side. Not really, huh? Almost. There we go. All right. Now we can kind of snug those back down. So it'd probably help if I was actually using the right size socket instead of sitting there for the last, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes trying to get it to work, but there isn't a whole lot of room under there to get to it. But I got the right socket on right now, so let's do real time and see how fast it would have took. All right, did I grab the wrong size socket again? Okay. Oh wow, look at that. Right on. Okay, that's one side. And put you over here on the other side. What are we looking at? Yeah, down into the abyss of darkness. All right, nonetheless, when you use the right tools, it goes by in mere seconds, so. Yeah, now we can throw the top mounting bolts in. So we're going to start that whole process of trying to line this bolt back up, as if you see in the past videos. This one's given us problems again. Hey, just stay on it. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated. And eventually it'll go in. All right, remember, keep an eye on the back side of the radiator support, the core. That way you're not driving the bolt into the cooling fins or the tubes inside the radiator. You don't want to go through all of that stuff to, end up having a hole poked in your radiator. All right, we're going to focus our attention onto the pressure lines. All right, this one is a two-piece that goes down to the eliminator block. All right, coming off of the evaporator. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to replace all the rubber O-rings, oil them up, and then install them. And I'll bring you over this way to show you where these hoses get routed. We got our assorted box of O-rings. We'll start pulling O-rings off, matching them up, oiling them down and putting them on. So to route the steel line, there's a little cutout through here that the steel pressure line goes through. All right. I'm going to throw an O-ring on a condenser tube, lower tube. What I'm trying to say is that there's only one way that the steel line will hook up to the condenser. All right, so make sure you got the right end going through, or you'll have to pretty much destroy the line just to get it to fit. So it only goes in one way, or it's only supposed to go in one way. It can go in all kinds of different ways. There's only one right way to put it in, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, all right. All right, so now what you got to kind of do is form the lower evaporator hose and the oil return line to line up with this metal hose and kind of bring everything all together. We got to also fit the dryer receiver in place also. So there's going to be hoses that you have to kind of move around. So, you know, with gentleness, don't get down there and get all ballistic with it and break the pipes off and all that stuff. So it's easier to get to it from underneath and work it from there. So that's what I'm going to kind of start doing now, is get everything lined up and work it from underneath the vehicle. So the top hose or top fitting to the dryer receiver goes to the evaporator. All right, so the top portion of the receiver, the one that moves, goes to the evaporator. Do I have you in frame? What am I doing? All right, so the one that moves goes to the evaporator. And then this one's a pressure line. The one that's actually part of the housing goes to the compressor. The flexible line that goes to the compressor. Top hose evaporator The hose that's attached to the housing goes to the compressor.